Alright folks, Andy here from Bushcraft. So I'm just out in my local woodlands today, walking rusty, but I thought while I was I've been out doing a bit of tree ID, and I brought my various tree ID guides, because I thought while I was out here I will talk about the different aids that I use to help my tree ID. I'm pretty decent with it now. I've been concentrating on it for the past maybe 2 or 3 years, and I've gotten to a point where I can happily identify a lot of trees that would be useful in the sort of the bushcraft context. But like what most of us do, started off with a book like this, and this is the Collins Complete Guide to British Trees. It says at the top, a photographic guide to every common species, and the photos in it are awesome, absolutely amazing. It initially helped me massively to identify different variations of trees. I put these little sticker tabs in at the edge, and also they're labelled with specific trees, and they're the ones that I think are most commonly found around the whole of the UK. I live in England at the minute. I'm from Scotland. I've spent quite a few years living out in Northern Ireland, and I've done quite a bit of time out in Wales, and I find that the trees that I've selected here are the ones that are most commonly found around the whole of the UK. And I don't know how well it'll show up, but if you look at where the stickers tabs are, most of them are around the middle of the book, which leaves a lot of pages that really aren't necessary. For me, I found a lot of it does say at the top for every common species around in the UK, but I think I found with this book is, when it says common, some of the trees are really specific to certain areas around the UK. So some of them you'll really only find. They'll be very common in England, specific places in England, but very rare, say, up in Scotland, or vice versa. There'll be some things that are quite common around Scotland, but then very rare down in England. So what I decided to do was keep away from those types of trees. I stuck with the trees that can be found very commonly around the whole of the UK. I mean Scotland, England, Northern Ireland, Wales. What I decided to do with that was, instead of carrying this about with me, was to make up my own ID cards. Using information from this, taking pictures while I'm out, and then researching them in sort of the bushcraft sense, if you like. So those trees, they can be very easily commonly found around the whole of the UK. Fairly easy to identify, but also had a lot of use in the bushcraft sense. So I went from this. And this is my folder that I come up with. This is a little A5 folder, like my little Bushcraft logo that I printed out for the front of it. It's got Bushcraft on the side, so there's no mistake, and this is Bushcraft's folder. I've got a few little sleeves of information there. They're nothing to do with tree ID, just some little things that I wanted in there, just so I don't lose them. They'll become important later on, I think. But this red panel indicates tree ID cards. And here they're A5 size photos, basically. What I would do is I use my Collins guide to go out and ID the trees, well, help ID the trees, and then I would take pictures of them on my phone. And then when I got home, uploaded the photos to my laptop, and I downloaded some photo editing software so that I could basically collage the pictures together with, you know, like the leaves or the haws. This front picture is common hawthorn, so that's the tree. The leaf down there, and then the haws berries, if you like, that the common hawthorn has. So hopefully this will show up. So you've got the front one, you've got common hawthorn, silver birch, wych elm, so on and so forth. And I've done this with about 24 different tree species. And on the back, what I did was typed up some information. So I've got the common name, silver birch, and then the Latin name, Betula pendula. And then down here is just descriptive information about the tree, but then also information about it in, you know, the bushcraft context. So I wrote things down about silver birch, tree bark, so we can use the tree bark for tinder. If you've got a fallen silver birch, take some of the bark, scrape the outer silver whitish side with the back of your knife, and put a spark into that, and you've got a flame there. And then you'll be able to build that into a fire. It's a good hardwood for roasting, for cooking over the fire. If you're skilled enough, you can use it for bow drill. It's a hardwood, so it's a bit more difficult. I can't do it yet, but I'm working up to it. Also with the tree bark, you can make birch oil. If you get yourself a tin, pack it with birch bark, pierce a hole in the bottom and then have another tin underneath it with a hole on top. Dig a hole into the ground, put the 2 tins into it, and then bury them, and in the top tin leave about half of it sticking out of the top. You build a fire over the top of it and leave it burning for an hour, and then the heat will cause the resins to seep out the back and collect in the tin on the bottom. I've done this before in a video, I've got a video about it on my channel if you're interested. Also, you know, in the springtime you can collect the birch sap. Just draw a little hole into the side using a little handheld auger bit, put a container underneath, and the birch bark will seep into the container. And you know, it's a really healthy and very cool, refreshing drink in the spring. It tastes ridiculously nice, Rusty, yeah? But yeah, so what I did was, yeah, so I got the photos printed off. I would upload the photos to the Boots online photo printing website, and then just ordered them at this size. They printed them, sent them out to me. I made the information, glued it onto the back, and then I laminated them, and then hole punched them, and they keep in this folder. So then, once I had made these, this sort of, in a way, become more or less redundant. I would leave it to the side, unless I was walking around a woodland and there was a specific tree that I saw and it, you know, it gripped my curiosity, but I didn't have it in this. Then I would take pictures of it, go home, and then ID it with this book, and then find out about it. And if it turned out that it was a tree that could be quite useful, and maybe for whatever reason I missed it, then I would make up a card about it and put it in this folder. Otherwise, it was just nice to find out about it in the first place. But this is what I started carrying with me after that. It would help for sort of future videos when it come to IDing trees, if I was going to, like, so for the silver birch and the birch oil, so the cards came in handy with that. There's also the hawthorn tree. You can make fruit leather with the haws of the hawthorn tree, and there's information about that, how to do it, on the card about the hawthorn tree and this, and so on and so forth. So this is what I started carrying with me, not all the time, just more or less day trips when I was going around, just for walking, collecting some resources, walking Rusty, and just I could practice my tree ID. And if I ever got stuck in a tree, then I can use this to help ID it. So to go along with the A5 folder, like I said, I would use these on a sort of day trip when I'm only out for the day, and it's not so much that I don't need to worry about weight, it's just I don't need to bring as much stuff with me because I'm only out for the day. So it's like, it's summer right now, basically all I've got with me is these, my camera kit, and a bottle of water, my knife and my ferro rod. If it was winter, obviously I'd take a bit of warm kit and a bit of wet kit. But if I was going out on an overnighter, then I wouldn't bring this with me because it's quite big, and in all honesty it's quite heavy. Just with those initial cards that are in there for the tree ID, it is quite heavy, and I am planning on adding to this. I want to do a section about wild edible plants under the same sort of idea, that can be, one, really easily identified, not too much of an issue being mixed up with something that's poisonous and deadly, and secondly it could be found around the whole of the UK. And then same sort of thing with wild fungi. But to go along with that, if I'm going out on overnighters, I wanted to do a sort of more compact version of that, which is what I come up with this. So basically it's the exact same pictures, all I had to do was sort of reorder them off my account with Boots on the the photo printout thing. I just changed the size so that they're A6. So yeah, it's the same photos that are in that, they're just A6 size. Laminated again with a little hole punched in the top, and I put a grommet through it just to give it a bit of extra strength so the cord can't rip out too easily. But yeah, so you know, you got your hawthorn, silver birch, witch elm, cracked willow, so on and so forth. On the backs, rather than putting on the information, they are quite small, and either the writing would have to be seriously small to fit it on, or it wasn't all going to fit on, so I didn't bother putting the main information on the top. So what I did was just put the common name and then the Latin name. You know, and they fit in your pocket. Nice and easy. Hey bud, nice and easy. So folks, I just thought I'd put this video together and show you about my tree ID stuff. Like I said, it's massively helped my tree ID. I used to struggle with it a bit, and then when I come up with this, making the ID cards and that, it's massively improved things for me. So I thought I'd just put it together. If you're someone who's starting out, or if you're struggling with it, then this could be an option for you doing this sort of thing, and it may help you with your tree ID. But I'm going to call it quits there. I imagine this might have been quite a long video of me just sitting talking about it. I apologise if you clicked onto this video thinking it was going to be a sort of tutorial video teaching you about different trees. I don't really like doing those types of videos on my channel. I don't think I'm quite at that level where I can be teaching people things. If you do learn things from my channel, happy days, you know, happy days. But yeah, if you did find the video useful and you did like it, you know, if you hit the like button, if you could share it, and if you're not already one, if you don't mind subscribing to my channel, I would really appreciate that. But yeah, as always folks, I'm thankful for you taking the time out your day to stop by and watch my videos, and I guess I'll see you in the next one. Take care.